matters of different subjects. Maybe, perhaps. Oh, I've been reading a lot about stuff. Genius. However, I feel like every time I start a conversation, whether or not it relates or not, I feel like people just don't wish to partake. So usually I have to actually hitchhike, metaphorically, on other
Everybody
people.
wants different things, though. We've done pretty well. We've done relatively well.
To be honest with you, I'm more interested in exploring topics and exploring both sides than I am like just exploring one fucking side of one topic. There's no fun in that for me. There's no fun because it's like, dude, like the part of the reason why at least I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why all the rest of you guys are here, but like when I have a conversation, I'm there to explore what the person's talking about, and I'm there to explore it in an objective manner and try to extract something new out of it. That's why I'm here. So
isn't that something? What do you want to talk about besides that? If you like say fuck all that for 5 seconds, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, what do you
want to talk about? And then bouncing off of us, which is fun.
Yes, he's asking you. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, what is your subject that you like? Because you're very good at addressing other people. What do you?
Right now, I'm working on AI shit. So that's what I'm working on.
Slop or what? Shit.
Well, no, I'm working right now. I just created a Jungian GPT, and so I'm tweaking that. I'm trying to understand how AI actually works and what it actually is and all of its possibilities and potentials, so that I can actually maximize the GPTs or the AI agents as actual tools. And because like people don't really get what AI is.
I mean, that's another thing,
yeah, usually when I talk to a group of people, I try to see what everyone's disposition is. However, a lot of times when I enter a conversation talking about my disposition, yet acknowledging everyone else, it's like everyone's like, no, consent, get out of here. But
you're fine when you're good. You get a little hyper like me.
Yes, exactly. But there's no. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about.
No. It matters. What we can do is be a little meta, and like next year we can start being meta and be a little bit better at realizing everyone kind of looking at conversations, different perspectives, and being a little more democratic and give everyone right. If you really can't stand something, say pass. Moves on to another.
Or here's an idea too. It's like a lot of times what I'll do is I'll come into a conversation. This is a discipline I've started because I started to realize that everybody's at conversations for a different reason. And really, when you come into a conversation, there's one thing that you should do. You should listen for just a little bit, find out what the person's talking about, find out what perspective or what is to be made of that conversation, and ask yourself, do I want to even interject myself in that conversation in the first place? Is there anything to be added, or is there anything to be expanded? Or do I even want to have the conversation in the first place? Is it going to add anything to my life?
Yeah. So I say secondly, do that, and then if it's not, like maybe say one sentence, maybe like wait for a pause, say something you really care about, see if the room gives a fuck, and if not, then just fucking...
Yes, and don't forget to add evidence, analysis, and more things to support your claim and arguments and such, because every time someone uses circular reasoning, it's quite difficult to understand what makes them believe what they believe, and they're trying to explain it to others without using any sort of method, such as the Tellman method, inductive, deductive reasoning. It's quite difficult.
Yeah, the issue you're going to have there is like there's certain things, for instance, I focus on mysticism, so there's certain things where like mysticism is going to use empirical methods of mysticism, and those are going to be direct to the person. And ironically, they're going to look like anecdotal evidence. The issue is they're not. And the reason why they're not is because when you take everyone's personal experience, and the personal experience equals a unit of experience across a large threshold of like people that do those practices, they all come to the same fucking conclusion, then it's not anecdotal evidence you're running into. It's actually empirical, across cultural, across human experience. And that's the reason why I practice that. But if you want to add rigor to it from the standpoint of like mathematics or science, which science is beginning to catch up with mysticism now, you can do that. But the standpoint is you can't put your measure of rigor against everyone. It's not going to work like that.
Yes, but see, that would be plausible if someone were doing that. Yet, there's many things that other people are innocently questioning, like how I'm questioning like a really innocent subject, like you just mentioned, what has actually improved science to connect with mysticism? It was never explained. Yet it was actually
Well, I could tell you somewhat what that is.
it was not
Yeah.
the root cause. Yet it was quite like we now were curious, or at least I am. And yes, I'm a person than everyone else, but yet that's the thing, which I was arguing. We should actually acknowledge everyone's intentions without actually using such claims to argue against their other such things without actually explaining to help them individually understand what it is they need to do. So that's what I'm asking. How is mysticism connecting to science, and what benefits does that help with the scientific method or such? Whatever.
What is
Okay, so
what is
go ahead.
mysticism? What is mysticism? Like short term. Anyone?
You want to know what definition of mysticism, or essentially what is it? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, mysticism.
Okay, it's a method. It's a method of essentially going through direct experience empirically, kind of literally peeling back the layers of the mental process to get to direct experience. And so what that looks, if you want to ask like what that looks like and what the fundamental pillars of mysticism are, as opposed to like religion.
Don't worry too much about me.
The pillars of mysticism are going to be not belief. The pillars of mysticism are going to be earnest seeking, and seeking to know, and specifically seeking to know directly. And so also there's an aspect of non-conceptual experience there. So what that means is you might have things like deity yoga or things that look like concepts, but really what the actual experience is about is getting beyond concepts and having a direct interface with experience itself. And a lot of those, here's where mysticism gets difficult to actually boil down into kind of an equation, because once you start hitting those states that go beyond language, it gets very difficult to actually quantify the experience. So you will hit a wall of that, and this is the reason why mystics do not directly, they'll teach you method, but they will not teach you this is what is going to happen, or this is what you should believe. They will say, learn this technique, and then you have an experience through that technique, and then bring that to me. Like then we can talk, because now we're talking mystic to mystic. We're talking about you do this technique, and you're gonna have a direct experience, and then we're gonna talk about that direct experience. See how it matches up to other mystics' direct experience.
Yes. How has mysticism contributed to the success of science?
Observation.
So, yeah. You're looking.
We need to have a research done on that.
Yes, and that's why he's saying that.
They're doing it right now. Yeah, they're doing it right now. There's a book called Dreaming Reality, and it's
Written by who?
literally. I'm sorry.
Who's it written by?
Just type in Dreaming Reality in Google, man. It's just only one fucking book.
Right. What is it called?
And
Dreaming Reality?
Actually, it's called Dreaming Reality.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so it's by the one guy's dead. The one guy's dead right now. I believe he's a clinical forensic psychologist. He's very precise and rigorous in the way that he actually pursues this shit. The other guy is a neuroscientist and also a practitioner of, I believe, Buddhism. I'm not sure. Can't remember exactly, but he's a practitioner of like mindfulness and different aspects of that. And he goes into the kind of neuroscience of it, and they also do fMRIs and different things. Now I'm not really terribly deep into the book, mainly because I had to stop because I'm reading other stuff. But it's from the first like couple chapters, it's fantastic, and it essentially merges mysticism and with like rigorous neuroscience and rigorous like forensic psychology, clinical forensic psychology, which is like phenomenally awesome, because now you have somebody that's like working off of a very rigorous standard of psychological forensic data, and they're bringing a level of rigor that's ridiculous. So I would say read that book. And I'd also say, what has mysticism contributed? The reason why science is actually catching up with mysticism, because mysticism has been far ahead of science in certain aspects like consciousness, states of consciousness, structures of consciousness, is because precisely that is what mysticism does. It's what it's always done. It's navigated consciousness and structures of consciousness, states of consciousness. And if you look at any non-dual traditions, when you look at Vajrayana, when you look at Kashmir Shaivism, when you look at any of the tantric or the non-dual traditions, right? You can even look at like Taoism, for instance. You'll find that they all pretty much have the same structure. They'll have the 3 channels. They'll have something like the chakra system or the meridians in the Eastern traditions. They'll have breathing techniques. You'll notice that even though they are different traditions, you'll notice that they have similar methodologies and understanding. It's almost as if one teaching was taught and it sprang out to these different cultures and it just kind of emerged in different ways, but they all have the same core fucking teachings.
I mean, some, like, before when I asked you, well, actually you can skip that because you actually concluded all your thoughts. Some of it is mystical, right? Some of it is mysticopium. Some of it is less mysticopium. Right?
Mysticopium?
Like
What is that?
At the beginning, they also apply to cults. Like, they do. I'm not saying there's not some really good shit there, and that was an interesting...
Wait, what are you... I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Are you saying mystic hopiism or mystic cultism?
Mystic hope, like hopium. Like mystic hopium. Like our brains are capable of, you know... I don't know, you're like the most impressive person to discuss mysticism in my life, and so I'm like, just like... I don't know, do you have, like, can you link me to something that might change my mind? It sounds interesting.
Okay, so, yeah, so if you want to start out...
I don't verbally talk about it. Like, when I asked you what you cared about, like, I shouldn't have.
I can tell you, I can give you books. That's fine. I can even give you books to start, and you want to read them? Read them. And you want to read The Science of Enlightenment by Shinzen Young. He's more of a tantric practitioner, but that's not what he teaches, and that's not what he shows you in his book. What he actually teaches you and shows you in his book is advanced mindfulness. And so he'll give you a plethora of mindfulness techniques, right? And what I'm saying is you're not gonna want to study all of those, right? The whole idea of Shinzen Young's book is that he gives you an understanding of universal principles, and he does illustrate them across various spiritual traditions. And he's like, this is what, in this tradition it's called this, in this tradition it's called that. He unifies pretty much everything. Number 2, he'll teach you how to use mindfulness, and he'll teach you so many techniques. You can take 1 or 2 of them and actually ride that.
The name is fine. If I, you know, I'll get that from him if I.
Yeah.
I want to see him speaking, right? If a person is enlightened and alive, I literally need to see them speaking. There's actually
there's plenty of stuff online with him. He's got, have at it.
My objection is really only when a person gets to any kind of enlightenment, like when they've looked internally, when they've had these experiences, right? When they know who the fuck they are, then what do they do? Then what do they do? It's like, that's everything to me. Like, I think I know myself. I think I know people who know themselves. And I know people are awesome who stop that entire process, right? That they say, and they are who they are. And that's it. They don't talk about it. They don't have to talk about it. Like, and if you truly are enlightened, there's a choice. Like, do you teach other people to be enlightened, or do you be enlightened?
Yeah, or do you only teach the people that are essentially available and ready to actually receive the teaching, and you leave the rest of the fuckers alone?
I mean, if you believe in the teaching, I guess sure, you pick the ones who are in natural alignment with that teaching.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I practice aspects of Kashmir Shaivism. I practice aspects of Vajrayana and Zen Buddhism. What I can tell you is, and I don't align with any of them from the standpoint of saying I'm a Kashmir Shaivite or I'm a Vajrayanic Buddhist. I don't do that, because I practice so many different traditions and so many techniques. For me, they're lenses. For me, they're lenses. And what I can tell you is, and I don't align with any of them from the standpoint of saying I'm a Kashmir Shaivite or I'm a Vajrayanic Buddhist. I don't do that because I practice so many different traditions and so many techniques. For me, they're lenses. they're not dogmatic things that I have to sit in or identify myself with.
That's cool. And I love that you practice as long as you don't ever play in the games.
What do you mean playing the games?
You practice. Like I said, I practice, but I never engage in the rap game. No, listen, I don't mean nothing.
Practice is the path. And then here's what happens.
Wait,
You
that's
sit on a cushion. Sit on a cushion for a while. You develop awareness.
But isn't it weird that I'm going to
You okay, Light?
Did you know that some jellyfish can live forever? Go ahead.
Yeah.
nothing forever?
Well, when the planet's atmosphere burns off, they're not going to be able to live. So it's not forever.
Yeah, but there may be retardigrades in space, though. And sometimes maybe a retardigrade could grow like octopus tentacles.
Yeah, tardigrades are pretty. Look, tardigrades are like the most resilient thing that we know of so far.
I actually imagined. I'm sorry for this, but I imagined a tardigrade as the basic form of a sex pest. I'm sorry. I did. I'll remember the funny name for it. I can't remember.
Water bear?
Yeah, something to do with it is something to do with water bear.
No, that's what it's called. That's what tardigrades are called. They're called water bears.
Right.
I know about them.
The joke is related to water bears. I'm almost positive. Sorry, but tangent rabbit hole projection. Namaste. Mister, what do you like better, string theory or contemplations? You only have one.
String theory? Did you say?
String theory or contemplation?
I have no idea.
Oh.
If it has to do with M theory or string theory, I would just throw it out the window. I don't want to use it or talk about it or think about it.
You're just
It's
fucking
garbage.
They're words. String theory, well, two words, right? String theory and quantum. They're words. Not a quantum.
However, I can say that they do.
I don't know what they are. I'm not familiar with them. I can't have an opinion about them.
They're just words. You can't know what words mean. They don't mean, right? They don't mean. Until we get them. Words don't mean. Many people.
What is red? Like, wait, hold up. Words don't mean, right? Okay, so what is red? Everybody here knows what red is. They might have a general experience of it. They might not actually see the same red, or they might be colorblind. They might not see red at
That's what
all.
I'm saying. Some people.
But my point is like words do mean. Like you can generally use a word
Words
as a
are
symbolic
powerful.
signifier.
Read the preface or the introduction. So basically what he's saying is that he's trying to explore the usefulness that we can study from Christianity and traditionalism to explore more of the nuanced parts of the interior brain, in which he describes that it's like all the stuff that we experience is in place, more rest. There you go. It's like as a whole, layer and layers. You read it yourself. Pages right now. And pretty much what he's trying to do. The book you recommended earlier. That's why I was so quiet because I was reading it because I had to because you didn't name any pages, so I had to do the work for you. So there you go. Like I understand a bit of it, maybe not as much as you, but that's what I was doing with this whole time. And so I was reading it, and basically that's what he was trying to achieve in the book. And in order for me to get more sights and stuff, insights from that book, obviously I'd have to read the whole book instead of someone giving me sources explaining the actual, what happens in the book. So, but I'm saying it's like,
If you want to explore the meaning of words, you should look at subject-object relation, understand what the difference between a subject and an object is, and then you can get really deep into the actual thing you're talking about.
You rather perfectly understand all that terminology, make up.
Abstract versus.
I would never say that shit. Ever.
You what? I'm sorry.
Never want to study with that detail into like I use language. Never want to study.
What subject and object? Those are base level.
yeah.
No, I know, you said you can get deeper into it, right? You can actually like really study that shit, like.
Well, you need to know that's the base. That's the base of reality. Like that's the base of how you cognize a subject-object.
But you don't have to meta understand any of it to use.
There's more.
Right? You don't have.
Well,
to
you
talk
live in
about
two
it.
worlds, my friend. You live in two worlds. You live in an objective external world, and then you live in an internal subjective world. And until you understand how they merge and how they separate and how it actually works, you're gonna have problems because you're gonna identify objective things with subjective things and subjective things with objective things, and you're gonna conflate across that, and that's problematic as shit. You have to be able to separate the internal subjective with the external objective, and you have to understand that they actually interrelate.
What would happen if you didn't?
You don't have to define or discuss it at all. I mean, sometimes we're talking about like us, we're talking about like an average person.
Well, when you're talking about words, what do you think words are? This is why this is so important. What is a word?
A word, like a definition, a meaning, a way to say something, description, adjective, verbs, nouns, everything.
It's a symbol. I'm going to break it down. It's just a symbol. And what is a symbol? A symbol is an abstract representation of something.
That's exactly.
Right. So if you're looking at what language is a series of symbols of abstract representation, and they do what? They are wrapped around our external reality in a subjective format. So you can actually walk around and engage with the world without actually having a subjective overlay.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of objective stuff like documented. I mean, that's objective, really subject too much unless they input that, but more so it's documented to get it clear. The same thing with textbooks is definitely factual, or at least intended to be. You could say, oh, maybe those are a bunch of lies, but nonetheless, many people rely on them for truths and have proven that many things, concepts in them, work out in real life. And absolutely, I've seen it myself many a times. So depends what you use them for. Overall, I would say that the diction, syntax, and other such things that I don't want to go too into unless you're curious enough. However, I would say that usage of those have to all collide together in one sentence, which I do all the time. But it would mean that in order to organize these words or meanings can mean an artistic form in which you deliver your communication skills, which is why earlier I was saying linguistics would be a beautiful subject to study, extremely important for anybody who wishes to communicate with many
It's not, like, study of linguistics is not necessary at all. It's not necessary at fucking all. Before linguistics existed, right, there were people who didn't need to understand and discuss linguistics to be fucking, like, say, whatever kind of linguists, right? Like, they didn't need to break it down.
You need to understand, okay, well, you gotta understand that the way that we think is the way that we talk. And so, when you're looking at language and linguistics, super important, because the way that you perceive your world is based on the signifiers that you use and the symbols that you use. So the fact of the matter is, like, there's no way of getting around. If you don't want to deal with the logistics, then you are going to have a real problem. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm not saying you have to center on it, but what I'm saying is you have to at least understand it at a base level and understand, like, how it operates, and you have to understand language and how it operates and thought and how it operates. And then you'll find out why we view the world the way we do.
At a 5th grade level with a good teacher, you get there, or you should, maybe 6th, like, or earlier. The base level is all, I mean, maybe you need a basic understanding. You really don't.
Okay, what is great? Let's go with that. Let's go with the base understanding of that. What does language look like from the standpoint of base level? What is the fundamental structure of language and thought?
I don't know. Like,
okay, what does thought and language do at base level? What is it doing?
Processing inputs and sensations, the external processing.
I suppose certain triggers and responses learned by the brain, so we can understand.
No, I'm going to break it down even more elementary than that. Like we're going to get to a basic component of it. Like what is language doing? What is the when I open my mouth and I use terms, what does language do?
Transmitting information.
Yes, exactly.
It separates things, guys. It's separating in dichotomies. It's separating the polarities. It's separating into self and other, subject and object. Again, it's the reason why we feel like we live in a polarized world. Because the polarization is the fact that language actually separates fucking everything. It's super useful, but it's also an illusionary mechanism that if you take it for reality, you're fucked.
Possibly how cows in Europe speak a different language than cows in America, or how.
No, it's the matter that it separates. And if you identify with the separation, then you essentially get this false narrative.
Yeah,
It's very useful, and I'll be honest with you, you can't have a unified like language, because the unified language would look like that, and go do that with that, and go do that with that. And so what, I don't know, you don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not specific enough, but Laura's language says, take that wrench and turn that bolt. Right? So now what you have is language separating things into chunks, usable chunks, to go do an operation. So it's useful as shit.
Well, yeah, my mom's from El Salvador, but she talks to many Mexicanas, even Chilean. Understands them well enough, even though they use not
the
so.
The problem is that language has
whatever.
The problem is language has lots of error in it. Bias, it has fallacy.
Same accent or such, but it is the same language, which means it's like kind of like unified in that way, and they understand each other perfectly well, even though they speak in a different accent and style. Same way, if I go down to East Coast, they say a lot of stuff that West Coast like me don't say, but I can still understand it. Why? Because they're speaking English nonetheless, and I try my best because I have those communication skills by studying, and I actually listen and ascertain what their structure is to penetrate their that blockage that can help me understand what they're saying.
Right, but if you go into a person and you talk to them, right, and you have, let's say you have, again, you have like a person like myself that's a mysticism, that works in mysticism, and then you take a person that is working off of, let's say, experimental mathematics, right? Now you're gonna find that if I go into experimental mathematics, I'm not very qualified. Number one, I don't know the technical terms or have the rigor or the experience to actually pursue that. So what that means is I'm ignorant in that topic. It also means that I can't talk on that topic at a level that's even going to be qualified. And so, whereas now we have what's two skill sets, and we have technical language versus we have technical language of mysticism versus technical language of mathematics. So what I'm saying here is that your knowledge base matters. And so if you take two people that have very different, maybe even equal knowledge bases, but they don't have a bridge to essentially navigate that, then what you're going to run into is somebody that you're going to run into a cognitive fucking impasse where it's like, I can't get to where you're getting to unless you build a bridge, like essentially us. Bring it down to the level at which I can process it, right?
Well, I've done that before, and I've explained it to people who don't even know simple algebra or sixth grade mathematics, people who don't even know the formula to Fahrenheit and Celsius or how to convert such. But I have explained even more advanced subjects like quadratic formula. They had no idea what it was until I said translated it to their own language, which I did it in this such quote-unquote way. Oh, you want to know the freaking quadratic polynomial? Yeah, I don't even know what the heck that is. Oh, it's quite simple. You do it all the time, man. You know when you throw a ball? Yeah, man, what the fuck does that have to do with it? It sounds so crazy. It's not, man. It's so simple. All you have to do is throw the ball. Now the ax squared is just what shape it's going to take and you throw it. Oh, wow, that's simple. Yeah, throw a ball. Yeah, and then bx is just the positive, like the path, the slope and such. It's just going to go that way. It's going to go straight. And then he's like, oh, that's cool. And then in C, that's just the y-intercept. That's where it's going to start from what height. Oh, that's it? Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
It's you have a mathematic filter that you're putting on reality, and they don't. So they're experiencing what you're experiencing, but they're experiencing it in a different way. And so that's the reason why you can translate that experience into something else, is because it's a filter. it's a mathematic filter for reality. So you're like going, this is how reality works according to the mathematics. So
It's
yeah.
because mathematics is reality. That's what I'm saying. Like, all this stuff we have is no different than what we do on a daily basis. That's why we have it in the first place.
Right, but there's people like myself that are not mathematic thinkers. So I can talk about consciousness all day long and the levels of consciousness, but if you want to get into anything that's like advanced math, good luck. I'm not gonna be there for it. It's because my mind doesn't actually operate like that. It's very logical, and it actually, if you compare the logic to the way that math actually operates, and I have with certain people, they'll be like, you're rigorous and logical, but you're not mathematic. And so even though mathematics is strictly like where logic comes from, right? It's not from the standpoint of where I'm actually accessing it from. So again,
I think that is actually what we're trying to relate to. Like, that would be subjective, because it's like, yes, that thing that I just said is mathematical, despite it being explained in such a simple lingo.
Well, math is subjective as well.
Not really. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it is, because it's an internal reductive process. Yeah.
Yeah, but in a lot of ways it's not. So, like, if I were to take values and actually approximate it, because yes, it wouldn't be.
Do you want me to show you how mathematics? Do you want me to show you how mathematics is actually?
No mathematics.
It's great.
I have no idea mathematics. I've been doing this for.
Let me teach you. Adult children. Let me teach you this. Let me teach you that. Are you really here to fucking learn shit?
Absolutely.
This is not a book.
It should be.
But it's not. It's people fucking interacting.
Yeah, that's the best part.
I've never met somebody consciousness could talk about consciousness all day. In fact, the people I know that are super conscious, they never fucking talk. They never talk about it.
I do.
No. Super conscious does not talk about conscious. Super conscious is super conscious, and like maybe you share it with others. You don't talk about it. You show them conscious. In my opinion, which is no longer fucking humble. And talking about talking is the worst thing a writing writer ever can fucking do. Talk about talking. Talk about semantics, etymology, subjects and proverbs. I love you, but
So, are you saying that we should be more like variable? Like, we should talk about anything that can help in any way?
I think we should have a fucking pass button. So early on, I could have pressed pass. We would have come to another subject. Maybe Scott would have pressed pass. Another subject, Mystic would have pressed pass, and then we would have got to one. Everyone was happy.
Yes, that would be great. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like, we should stick to one clause and finish it, or at least come to some conclusion where it's like either a pathetic victory or no victory or whatever. But that would be great. But based on my observations in this whole situation with Discord, a lot of experience I had with it, there never seems to be any common ground, because people in the world currently are individualized, not in a good way, like they're separated. So they don't choose to connect with others. It's very difficult to have that because many people choose not to do that. So
let's start over here for a second. Like, I'm not having a problem with that starting over. What is everyone here for? Like, I mean, everybody that's sitting in this conversation, not just the three people that are talking. Like, why are you all sitting in this room right now? What do you hope to gain, or what are you trying to learn, or what are you trying to teach? Like,
we don't have time on the mic for 8 people. I don't know why you're asking them voluntarily.
No, I want to ask what all people in this conversation are like. What do you?
You want to listen to other people equally? I'm here to talk with friends of mine and to.
Yeah, I literally switched call after I got it. Download for something one day. Plus.
Doesn't matter. I'm here to do some voice work with friends of mine as I get close to publishing something. Most people are here to fucking from reality and have Discord and drama, and they want to be respectful.
Yes, which is not positive, but
they want to say.
Yeah, so you see, that's what I was saying earlier. Not everyone's a positive person, and so you have to understand the actual the pool of people you can connect with, and that's how the real world works. That's why I always say oh damn it, I'm fucking pissed that everyone's fucking spurning at everything you say all the time, even in this stuff. But it doesn't matter, right? People don't want to hear that. Where the world, people don't want to your voice if they
Yeah,
don't like
I'm
it.
out because I got some stuff I'm gonna work on. So you guys have a good night.
Thank
You
you.
already got people selling the mic time.
Oh, well. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people will hate me. Like, most people hate me because I'm not the same as everybody. Yes, they do.
Thank you.
And so,
sometimes, or manic, or you know, they don't.
yes, exactly. And that's my way of life, and they hate that. So there you go.
I mean, you're hard to deal with, right? If we were talking, you were talking 80% of the time, I'd fucking probably die. If we were talking 50-50, it might be okay. If I was talking 80 when you're 23, I'd be happiest. You'd probably be happiest talking more too.
Yeah, it depends on which decisions the party chooses. Sometimes when I talk to women, they love it when I talk a lot, and they love that. A lot of men may want to speak on their own behalf, but there is always a potentiality that women may do the same thing. So it really depends on the party's decisions, but all in all, it is always based on what works for that party instead of what other people want to superimpose onto that party, which they have no relations with.
Right, it would be right if we could deal with that, have more data from the party, meaningful data from the actual party, from the group that they got together, and understand the chemistry. And sometimes be like, you can't join this room right now because the present chemistry always sucks.
Yes,
Right?
and most and most of my data is extremely invaluable. In fact, quadratic formula is exactly how I describe it, a trajectory with a quadratic formula predicting the landing spot of that. And so it is exactly what everyone's using, yet most people don't want to hear it from me. Why? Because they don't like me. So that's the reality. Yes, it is. Because you said, yes.
Like, they want to talk and not listen fast, and you probably say something because sometimes. Relax. It's not.
Yes.
And remember, again, you're on Discord, right? They have they don't give a fuck. Discord listens keeps making nitro cell. They don't get this. It's got a lot of utility. It's fucking terrible. If you ever thought, oh, we could have an enlightened community, something. It's terrible for that.
I'm glad you agree with me.
But it's not for that.
Yes, you agree with my statement that many people will not like you, will hate you. Even though they hear you, and they know what you're saying, they will not even care. So,
many times, though, like, you'll be saying something that for them would be out of their mind, right? Like, their mind is not super expanded, and then they're like, oh shit, I don't want to see. Like, this guy speaks too fast. I don't want to even think about accepting his.
That's exactly. They have a different way.
Good, but they don't. People have to adjust to a world that's actually really fucking hard and hopelessly. You know, they have to adjust to a really hard world.
Yes, and so a lot of them do choose to either destroy it or apathetically leave it or work with it. It depends, but most times a lot of people choose to destroy it, but it doesn't mean that the others are not possible. Therefore, on this sort of circumstances, it's evident that most people are going to choose the destructive path. But there are people who do care about me, yet it's not relevant to those people who want to destroy me, which is what I'm saying.
Todd does not want to destroy you. He's a little sweetheart.
Who?
Todd. Right, Todd?
Who? What?
He's fucking Todd Peanut. He's in here. Steve probably fell asleep, and Chris is still in a fucking tornado. Todd.
Yes, because they don't want to talk to us or me.
No. I mean, people do want to talk. But they don't want to live.
I haven't heard anything from them, though, so I'm just saying.
All right, we will. That was good, though. I'm very tired of it. I listen quite a bit. If I listen to you, and I might turn it down to 85%, honestly. You know, like, I'll keep the speed, but that's not really, can't do that here.
Hilariously enough, you have seen many people who have exhibited that hate towards me. So, I mean, you've seen it, but it's like, you see, that's the thing. Most people don't want to address it, even though it's evident, because they choose not to. Why? Because the person's speaker that's saying it, that you choose not to listen to them. Why? Because they don't like it. The speaker is way of life, so there you go.
But Kevin's here, and Messiah. I think it's a hot. Yeah, are you a hot mess, Saya?
I'm a Saya.
You're a psyop. You're a messiah.
Messiah, I like that.
Like Cyclops.
Cyclops. It's a good. I like that character a lot. But this is what I think. Usually, I would like to create alternate versions to improve them. I have tried to see if I did improve them, yet I have improved many things. I believe I've shared it. Yes, that's the beautiful part about working on projects. It can truly, actually improve many things that people need to improve on. So,
Kevin is a huge project.
yeah, that's the point of life. It's just to work. It's great.
If you enjoy it, and it's important.
But work will not set you free. I don't think.
Well, how do you think that you attain that freedom?
Artwork will set you free.
Well, that's work nonetheless, right? Because you have to make that thing. I mean, art is
Okay,
art.
no, art's work. Our work will set you free. We have to like take it, shake it off.
Right, but what is your point? Are you saying work is not how to set you free?
No, I'm just overtired. Kev, you got anything?
I just handed out a bunch of flyers at a concert.
Yes. Who would win, Nick Fuentes?
Think Nick Fuentes?
Nick Fuentes or Joe Rogan? Flyers. Who would win?
I think Joe Rogan would win.
Everybody would
One
win.
my city. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just guessing. That's actually good. I actually admire that. Like, I would actually love to do that, especially with a bunch of friends. Like, just passing flyers. Like, you want to join our city that we're building right now? It's already almost finished. And then it'd be like, hell yeah, man! And then it'd be so cool, dude. Oh my god, it'd be so. I would love that. It's so.
And girls playing beer pong and they loved it.
We have a home.
What would be cooler is if you took your flyers and every single one of them was a paper airplane. Otherwise, you're in.
Dude, it'd be cool if you get like a bunch of like cool, young, and unfortunate people and have them give them a home and give them a reason to respect and love you for. Like, that'd be so touching. I would love to do that. Especially in Japan when I go to Japan. If I worked in a city, I would go to Japan because there are these themes that you could stereotype which might not be true, but I have heard that from documentary videos and stuff. There actually are situations in which I believe that I should support them for if they were real, which kind of in such a way sort of is real, but not naturally depicted how it is in media. But yes, there are unfortunate young people who do need a home, and they don't need to be around people they don't love. So giving them something to love and giving them no matter unconditional respect and freedom and volition to do whatever they want in the city would eventually allow them to have community, which is a very, very good thing to do, especially for me.
I think it's probably going to take a mutiny. The community may have to mutiny. I gotta go.
Yeah, you don't want to end up with like Akon. You know the rapper thing with Akon? He tried to make a city and he sucked at it. I don't know if he tried to suck at it or if he actually did suck at it or if it wasn't his fault or if it was.
No.
But it did suck and he failed. And I don't know if he's ever going to try it again, but it did fail.
No, but I've spent most of my life trying to, maybe not a city, but like a village, like a myriad, a 10,000 person demonstration community to like prove, you know, what I might have in the way of the algorithms people could start from and adapt. Kevin also is life trying to build a city. It's not an unworthy pursuit at all.
You need a lot of Bitcoin.
Kevin?
Yeah, that's what he did, but he failed because he didn't do it right or he relied too much on it. Yet, I would have suggested for him to invest in workers and new tools, unique tools to compensate for the craft and architectural, whatever.
I'd say
city particularly. Yet Bitcoin, I don't understand.
No,
else to procure more funds, maybe support
Just money. Just money.
Support, or perhaps different economical.
The only chance you have is human intelligence. That's it. I mean, AI might help. The only thing to maximize is human intelligence. Like, whatever decisions you make are always, you know, modified by your level of human intelligence. Like, do you have the wisdom of the citizens or not? And they don't. If you build a community and you're not able to create the wisdom of the citizens, you ain't gonna be great, right? You're gonna fail in paper form.
Yes, absolutely. That is very true. Pen is always mightier than the sword. Yet,
No. I gotta go to that last thing, right? The pen is, Kevin, for 1,000 feet. Actually, stop censoring, essentially. This is a stupid metric, but the pen is mightier than the
sword.
pen is. The pen is mightier than the pen is, right? The pen is mightier than
Oh, it's the same thing. What?
The penis. The pen is mightier than the penis.
I don't know if that's actually true because it's the human body that's using the pen. The pen is an inanimate object.
It's a metric.
To create more people to use the pen, so I actually disagree with that entirely.
It's fine, but then no swipe on it. It's just a metric. It's just a hybridian, right? It's fine. That's good that you disagree with it. I like that. That's
Yes, 100,000%. I disagree with that.
You disagree with this? That's like if I say that's like the pot calling the wheat cream. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
With what? I forgot.
The pot calling the wheat green.
Boy, I don't even understand because I'm unfamiliar, but I kind to. But you said the pot willing what?
You know the pot calling the kettle black? No? Oh, it's the thing. I don't know. Yes. I'm going to bed.
I think pen mightier than the sword is more clear. So yes, the pen is mightier than the sword, but what is the sword made out of? And how much ink does the pen have? What quality is the pen? And what process did you use to create the sword? Is the sword going to last a long time? All these considerations you need to take place for when you create these things through that metaphorical analogy or whatever to be such things that could be built.
Are you and have you ever metaphorical?
Huh?
Are you ever metaphorical? A metaphorical oracle. You ever metaphorical?
I believe there's no reason to. Oh, he left. Great, because I think I was getting impatient with his crazy joke. I didn't understand. I wish I could have, but I didn't. It's a shame.
I came up with a new word. Check this out. Mutinies.
Oh, okay. That's beautiful. I believe there probably was a similar word to that, but beautiful nonetheless. I've created with new words too, yet they haven't been refined, so I wish not to disclose them. More so because they are unfinished, and they will not really garner attention or praise from many people due to their crudeness, so it would not be a great example for a
Crude words?
Right. Crudeness, yes. Unfinished. Raw. It's other such synonyms. That's what I'm saying. It was a great conversation, yet I was hoping for it to be more, I don't know if I should say this, you take it the wrong way, but it's really not. You understand, you hear me out. I really believe, due to the facts that he presented something that I was so invested in, and I wanted to talk about it more, but he left too early, of course Mystic did, where he was, presenting this presentation to a book he read, where he claimed that it was speaking about mysticism, shooting the science. Yet I read the preface of the actual PDF book. Somehow I found this fortunate enough, an auspicious moment where I actually came across the PDF for the entire book. Fortunately enough, quite strange, but there you go. And I did read it. I read the intro to understand what the purpose was, because there you go, I read enough, because I was quiet the whole time. And then I realized, okay, so this book was originally actually studying many cultures that predicted these types of sentiments, or whatever you want to have it. They actually, his purpose was to explore what was a lot of the causations or the importance of what that can actually help us understand within the internal part of the neuroscience brain, because the writer was credentials, definitely university, whatever you want, certified on neuroscience. So it's really a great book if you read it, but only if you have the aptitude to discover such possibilities, which every scientist would ever dream of. It's beautiful. And I don't know if Source Mystic really touched upon that, but I had to do it on my own, which I was really hoping to talk about because I did, and he just sort of just changed the subject, which I believe would have been a potentially great subject to talk about. Does mysticism actually contribute to science in such a way where it can actually increase it to an even more, Yeah.
I think mental health is not really science. It's kind of a science, but it's kind of not. It's a weird gray area. I think mysticism has a lot to do with mental health and psychology.
I believe mysticism I believe mysticism, based on what I read from that book. Imagine having to read the whole book in the voice chat while they're talking. Oh my god. It'd be crazy if I could read it like the Flash. I love that superpower for reading. Anyway, but yeah, so basically, I would believe that in this case, mysticism is sort of a gateway to understand more of the human psyche, the same way as like many questions and mysteries are actually a gateway to discover real, authentic science. So you can see, I see it as that way, where it's not necessarily like real science, but it's not entirely pseudoscience either. It could be explanations to stuff that actually do occur, yet not fully plumbing or dabbling into the actual mechanisms of what it is entirely in the physical world and such, what have you. So it is not necessarily totally useless compared to, but hey man, it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? You don't have to worry about that. You know why? Because you have a city to build. You know what I mean? That's more important than anything. Because many people don't have that.
I'm going right to the legal system instead of building the city because the city's just too expensive.
But see, that's the beauty of it, to outsmart, to get the funds unconventionally, like how people do. You know what I mean? Because you're a man. You can overcome these normies. That's what spiritual servers are for. Why do you think I'm always here, even though I'm such a nut for science? It's because I believe in something, man. Spirituality isn't what you are on the outside, it's what you are on the inside. That's actually a quote from the movie Blood In, Blood Out. But you know what I mean. You actually have to, yeah, but that's actually very, there's a lot of merit behind those movies and works of art. But there you go.
Helldivers
Like with
Helldivers to Hellpods.
with my best case estimates, it's $35,000 a bedroom. So I don't know if people have that kind of money.
Yeah, and I could literally go to like any science server and be scientific all I want. But at the end of the day, it's up to them or anybody to actually build a community. Yet, you gotta understand, most of these people are already so talented that they already have their communities. Same thing as us, we want our own communities as well. But I go to spiritual service, particularly to help everyone become what they want to be in life, not to actually just particularly, specifically, to attract an audience where it's based on one subject that everyone should already have. And so that's why I favor spiritual servers more often than basic servers, because basic servers are basic stuff that everyone should have there, but spirituality is a broad spectrum, so it doesn't necessitate only specifics, it necessitates all of them. So that's why I love spirituality so much. Oh, and most importantly, yes, spirituality. There you go. That's why I really like this ground chakra server. You see, basic servers are like basic stuff. They're nowhere near the advanced. But this server in particular, I actually put, in my opinion, or whatever I say, although I don't believe in opinions, I see as an advanced server. So there you go.
Yeah, the server's very advanced.
Exactly. That's why I don't really prowl or lurk within the confines of basic servers, because they don't actually really build a goal in mind. They just are there so you can talk about those subjects, so that you can build upon that. You get better at that subject. But this server, you get better at anything and uplift other people, because there's much freedom and space to communicate freely. So there you go. Yeah, and that's why I was mentioning an aforementioned server I was searching for, such as Outernet. However, that Outernet has been abandoned for years. But if it wasn't, it would have been my favorite server to go to, and I would have been spreading the word. Because that server, particularly, original purpose was genius. It was centered around basic functions, but the basic functions were like this server, where you can do all of it. However, it had a goal in mind that was spiritual, which is like almost like everything that we need. but it's one goal from that, which was genius, and I would have loved to partake in that as a true member and actually become an important figure. However, it would never happen because the server was long abandoned. Therefore, the search for another one was quite scarce because seldom do people actually construct or contrive such an idea that is rare in this today's world, especially now. Is anyone still there? I feel like I feel like I'm smoking, even though I never did have in my life. My God.
Yeah, man.
Okay, good. I'm not alone. It's good. Because sometimes, like, my internet cuts off. I'm just like pissed off. Oh shit, fuck my internet. And I didn't get to hear the good parts, but I'm glad that that's not the case. But you see, it's a beautiful message, nonetheless. Truly it is. And that's why you need to build your city.
Helldivers
And I believe in you.
Repeat.
Build your city.
Helldivers to Hellpods.
Yeah, there's still a lot of censorship online, so I gotta bring it into the real world somehow.
The censorship has always existed for millions of years. It has. That's why you need to censor the censorship in the true way, to make the censorship think that you're being censored, but truly the censorship is not censoring the parts that need to be censored behind closed doors. And eventually, when you emerge like the phoenix out of a flame fire, but like the phoenix that emerges from hell or whatever, you will actually be uncensorable, and no one will ever be able to censor you, which is why you need to use strategy. And there's much information, but I believe that you actually can understand that, so I needn't tell you what you must do. It's up to you. And if you did need me to tell you, then I will happily tell you. There you go. But eventually, you'll come to find out that there's many people who can help you, besides little old me, myself, and I. So there you go. Why not?
I'm thinking flyers at sporting events. What do you think?
Oh, so you're okay. First steps. I believe that flyers could be useful, but you don't want to do it in sporting events. Sporting events are too powerful, and people are too judgmental and egotistic. What I would suggest you do is possibly go to unknown areas, like ghetto places, or random, like banquets, or random restaurants, to random street corners where no one is going to bother you because there's so many business like food and stuff that everyone's too hungry to focus. That way, you can actually use a salesman approach, where you can actually give flyers to people who can actually spread the word because they're not so egotistical to block it from their minds. So if you go to those places, people will actually be much more humble and have much more humility. It's the same thing. But therefore, they can actually love your message, which is what more important than going to the places that might actually expand it more, because the places that want to expand it more only believe in one thing, what makes them rich. And your message is not making them rich. That's why they would actually destroy you. And since they have more influence, they will destroy your cause, and your cause will be a laughingstock. And to the people who can support you, it's impossible to reach them because they are told otherwise. So that's my strategy for you.
Okay.
Yes, so don't go to football. Don't do that. They're the enemy. They want to destroy your city. And that's true. And you've heard it from me, my reasons.
You think that's like pearls before swine?
Yes, you have to find the people who will support you, regardless of their disposition or wealth or class. That's more valuable than going to the richest people, because the richest people only believe one thing, the stuff that made them rich. That's why you always go for the normal people, because they will love you, and they have nothing. That's why. And they too, and despite people telling you, like, don't do that, you're taking advantage, not true at all. Because they are taking advantage of the poor people themselves. Why? Because they are keeping them in their box. Yet you are offering the poor people an opportunity to partake in a city that will eventually make them rich. That's why it's not.
Well, satisfied, not rich, but
Much better than what they're doing right now.
Yeah, comfortable.
Yes, exactly.
Must submit weekly urine
And that's beautiful. It's a heroic moment. And that's why it's worth following that strategy. If you wish to touch the hearts and eventually create your own society, which is so big that no one can ever stop it, or what you said before, no one will ever censor me once I get my sin. So there you go.
The entire society is 2 files that add up to 1 megabyte. That's the backbone of my city.
But you know, go expand, and blah blah blah, and there you go. You're creating an empire.
It's 1 megabyte worth of spreadsheets. Is the whole city, the whole
Yes.
infrastructure.
Yes, and it's more beautiful. It's beautiful, truly it is. And with people loving it, it won't even matter what it is or what size it is. It just matters that they are part of it. That's all that matters. See, you see, very possible and very attainable. Don't be like Akon. Be your own. Like Darth Vader said to Obi-Wan, once I was a student, now I am. Yeah, it's beautiful. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
You see, that's what people do. They want to antagonize characters like Darth Vader. You could do that all you want, but eventually a lot of those antagonists actually do have wisdom, which is why they're in seats of power. So there you go. You don't have to, but yes, they are the enemy. You should antagonize those villains. But then again, you could study their knowledge and their dispositions to help you better study how to defeat those things. The same way that you need to study your enemies, like those football fields that destroy you, or anything that will destroy you. Those are your enemies, because those are the obstacles, regardless of whether you like it or not. An enemy is an enemy still. So there you go.
I need crowds though. That's like the goal, is to get crowds.
Yes, the crowd will come. Picture this. You ever watch The Music Man, 1964, I believe, with, what's his name, John Preston?
No, 1964?
Might be wrong. Circa mid-1960s, or it might be 1968. But the
Yeah, I
main
don't
actor.
think I saw it.
Okay, so, story goes, it's actually a play from a long time ago. The story goes, he's a salesman, right? But no one likes him, because he has a bad reputation for scamming. But what we can learn from him is that he garners the attention always, somehow, some way, even though his bad reputation is known. So, the way he does it, regardless of whether it works or not, is that he does choose small populous areas. Yet, even despite that being the fact, he always starts with one person, and by vocalizing with that one person, people see the attractiveness he has with that one person. Therefore, it attracts more people, and eventually it adds on, cumulatively, then multiplying, and then there you go, you got a whole crowd. That's how you get crowds. You don't get crowds automatically. You get crowds with 1, 2, 5, 25, exponential, cubic, quadratic, there you go, boom, crowd.
Multiplicative.
Yes, exactly. The way you want it to be. Yes. So there's your crowd. So yes, go by that strategy that I have given. You probably most likely will get a crowd. And with the amount of followers, even though it's like, I don't know, 50, depending on how many times you do it, 50 followers, hey, that's actually effective. Now you can do more flyers, and you can actually do events. There you go. You know what I mean? See, this is the strategy. This is how generals win their wars. Military generals, especially U.S., they win these wars because they don't think on how they want. They think on the properties of their enemies. It's literally like, it's literally, that's what it is. That's why I don't really read Sun Tzu as much as I read other books. Because eventually, through the evolution of strategy, intelligence, science, whatever, good stuff. That's what we should just refer to it as, good stuff, because it is good. And the evolution of good stuff, you will eventually just master it by observing it for what it is, rather than like doing what you automatically desire, even though that's what you want to accomplish. But you will accomplish it once you follow the right steps. There you go. That's why the whole world's full of like a bunch of unseen secrets, and they don't come to light until later, because it's the goal, to conquer, not to act See, there's a difference between taking and asking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Asking is superior.
Only if people are going to give it to you. However, it's not the case at all. If you go to that football game, no one's going to listen to you. Everyone's going to laugh at you. That's just the reality. But if you go to the Salvadorian restaurant in freaking in the ghettos of LA, everyone's going to want to see what you're saying because they love colorful stuff. And you give them that. And that's meaningful. That's heroic. They will follow you to the end. And then other people in other nicer areas, like suburban privileged areas, they will see that and they'll be like, oh, quite beautiful. It is quite frankly evident that this man has acquired such good taste for the common man.
For a commoner.
Yes, exactly. And then there you go. Now you got people with money. Boom. Who else? Oh, thugs, mafias. Oh yes. This guy's got clicks. He's got a lot of money, a lot of nice women. I think I'll follow him, man. Yeah, let's do some dirty shit behind the scenes and getting some freaking politicians on his side. Boom, politicians. Oh yes. Another emerging senate. This is the angelic Instagram home. You help me with this trick. Yeah, there you go. You got more. Boom. There. Boom. You got everything. There you go.
If only it was that easy.
It is that easy if you work for it the right way. You see, this is how people get shit done, and I've learned this. People get shit done, and everyone thinks they're so advanced, but they're not. They're just fearless. Like the people who get away with shit are the most basic people. You ever notice that? Like the people who get away with all this crazy shit are like some of the most basic people that deserve to get punishment, but they never do. Why? Because everyone's afraid of them. Why? Because they're not afraid of anybody. It's the reality of the world. The world works like that. The same way as the popular kids in school did. They don't care about what you look like. They just care if you give them money in their pockets. That's it. You make the popular kids more popular, you're part of it. Doesn't matter how you dress or look like. Doesn't freaking matter. You could be like Joe Schmo from Kokomo with a ripped sweatpants, still be the popular kids. There you go. Same thing everywhere you go. Boom. Eventually you find your own people. But nonetheless, it's what you do to give them that power. To unite and protect ourselves. Yeah, that's another fucking quote from Blood and Blood. I've been watching that movie. Fucking Popeye. From that movie. Oh my god, it was so funny. I love that guy. That character's so awesome. He's like the only Vatos Locos from Miklo's game. So awesome. You know, I feel like Vatos Locos does shit. Like they're one of those people that does stuff for no reason. And I've talked about this before in BC. It's like there's a lot of people who just do stuff for no reason, even though it's like reasonable and amazing. But like you ask them why they did it, and they don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But it is pretty touching and beautiful that people do that for no reason, but they actually care. They care about stuff, but for no reason. But at the same time, you love them because they gave you that part of life that you never could get with anyone else. And that's what I'm saying. You could do that too. You don't have to be like Vatos Locos or any other faction. You could be your own thing. But still give them a reason to like you. That's more important than anything else. And yeah. Damn, man. You see how like brilliant this is? You see how smart this is, man?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. Remember, don't let anybody tell you how to run your city. You run your city. Only you and your people run their city. The only people you listen to are people who are with you, people who love you, people who are under your command. You know what I mean?
Sheba's on the executive council.
Well, yes, but it's only the journey that will determine whether she's going to stay with you or not. You have to know who's truly with you. I've had a lot of people who said they were with me, but they betrayed me. But I have a lot of people who never betrayed me. And there you go. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, people think that this stuff will never happen to them, but that sort of stuff is when you get that stuff to happen to you, it just rolls a huge red carpet for you when it does, and it breaks our hearts, but it does happen. We can keep telling ourselves that it won't happen, but it always does if we mess up, and that's why you have to never mess up. There you go.
Never make a mistake. That's the solution.
Yes, and when you do make mistakes, find a way to fix them. Because mistakes do teach you, but at the same time, mistakes are mistakes nonetheless, and they are undesirable.
Everyone has preferences. That's what makes it difficult.
A mistake can't be a correction if utilized in a form where it does benefit you. So
I think making mistakes denotes a weak human character.
It depends. How so?
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Okay. Anyway.
We're basically I know you just joined, but we're basically discussing more so what he wants. Angelic Hespergram Cult wants to build his own city with real stuff, so he actually wants to build a real city and get people. He's trying to pass flyers, and he's doing the right thing. However, what we're trying to do is not debate or discuss, we're trying to tell him advice. So we're basically his advisors in this situation because we love him and we love what he's going to accomplish, and we want everything the best for him, and eventually he can forget about us and see us as nothing. So, which is what we want because we love him. And if we want to, we can join this city, but nonetheless, it's what he wants. It's his journey, and we all love that, and we all help him and support him because it's something that most people never have, and we won't allow that to ever escape. So we're going to give him what he needs, and that's what we're doing right here.
So yeah,
You want the flyer?
Exactly. Get his flyer. Maybe you could become a part of the city.
I was just going to say, that sounds like the most ambitious thing I've ever heard of in my life. That is really cool. That is awesome. You want to create a city. Like, dude, you are cool. Like, that is awesome.
Yeah, but that's like very long term. Right now, the government.
I photoshopped the flyer, so I guess I have the copy of it for sure.
Here's the citizen database too in VC chat.
Yes.
But he needs our help, Absurd. I had to make sure that he knows about staircases. He didn't understand staircases, Absurd.
What about
yeah, my staircases suck.
I'm fucking with you, Kevin. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
but he wasn't putting staircases, and I'm like, but OSHA will fucking kill us. They will send hitmen.
You know those witches stairs that are like every other step?
Which stairs? How?
They call them witches staircase. That's like the name for it.
Okay.
Do you have a location picked out?
No, I only need like 20 or 30 acres though.
Oh shit, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's super high density.
You can get that for 100K easily.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In the right area. Yeah.
You see, with Angelic Hexagram Cult, you know what? I should just call it AHC. That would be a good name.
So, in the VC chat, I gave you all of the spreadsheets and the flyer. So you could do it yourself now. You have everything you need to do it yourself.
There's also a Discord.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm actually looking for a house, so I was doing some searching, and I found this 130-acre lot with a house for $25,000.
Oh my god, what a deal!
I know. I wish I could afford it, or else I would have fucking jumped on that shit and just sold it for more later. But damn.
What if it's
someone's
cursed?
gonna be all over that.
What if it's cursed?
See, that's the beauty of it. Building your own civilization is like, I've been thinking about it. Like building your own civilization is one of the beautiful things, especially if it's in an exoplanet where it's like you're allowed to go there. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. Yeah, and you can go to war with other factions that try to test you. And you feel like creating your own military structure, your own military technology. Then your people will be like, college is free, well, depending on your policies. Then it's like, oh, great. You can do anything that works. You don't have to use the confines of the injustices, the oppressive evil, you know what I mean? Evil, messed up system of Earth, because that's what it is entirely. So you don't have to mimic that. You can create your own version of the Sea Peoples, create the collapse of Earth, and you build a new, better Earth. It's all there. You go. Because quite frankly, Earth is the worst planet ever. You see, I know this because I've seen it before my own eyes. There is places where they don't have this structure that we have. It's draconian to the max. Not that I hate Earth, but it's Earth that's destroying itself with its obsolete, redundant systems, riddled with draconian laws that don't apply to any science whatsoever. And many people, we already know, and the entire populace knows. The only reason why we don't do anything about it is it's difficult. Because they're only going to freaking use their martial law to tell us what to do. There you go. They've got people behind the scenes on our ass in order for us to do this authoritative system over and over again. And it's nothing new. It's existed since the dawn of freaking Earth. There you go. But I have seen with my own eyes the beauty and majesty of many other alien stuff.
Do you feel like people are intentionally like holding you back?
Not so. It's not people, because people can be removed or added, whatever. But it is actually the systems that are in place that perpetuate the motivations of people. So it's never really the people biological structure themselves, nor is it their technologies or such. It's usually their motives. That's why most of the K time go to like trials and judges and freaking courts. It's always, what was he thinking in his mind? Was he truly innocent? Blah blah blah. Because that's the most dangerous part, is the mind. Just like we were saying earlier with this other guy, Alexei, was trying to say that pen is mightier than sword, and I was like, yes, pen is mightier than sword. We create a bunch of other stuff, but it doesn't matter. That's reality.
Yeah, the systems. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes. Because it's what organizes and builds civilization in the first place. It's what makes us able to understand many things. It's when we actually take the time to follow such a purpose, such a question, curiosity. And ultimately, the ultimate motive for anything is love. There you go.
Nice. By the way, let me ask you, Angelic, what is your motivation behind choosing to build a city? Like, what are you trying to do?
Running out of oil. So we have to prepare for a world with much less oil available to us.
Yes, that's very good. It's a good, great reason. I always tell people that, we don't have unlimited resources. Like, that's a freaking myth. People never listen.
So the whole city is self-contained with no vehicles. It's all golf carts and forklifts. So the city's like super high density with golf carts.
But see, Angelic, I would actually recommend maybe don't mimic the old ways of Earth once you have your city, because that city is yours. Perhaps you'd want to come up with a culturally identical to your city, perhaps maybe a hexagram version, maybe something that uses different properties, physics, to propel itself, not in the same exact fashion as like orthodox vehicles in this Earth. Perhaps you can develop new ways of transportation, not solely based on old ways like what we have now.
I don't know, man. Electricity is pretty good.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can use different vehicles to conduit electricity. You don't have to actually copy and regurgitate golf carts, because it's your city, it's your civilization. You don't have to.
Here's the thing. Golf carts are already manufactured by corporations, so we just buy them, and they're cheap and light and very efficient. So
okay,
it's just an ideal form of transport.
Right. Okay. Yes.
And let me ask you, where are you at right now in terms of being able to do this? Like, do you have the funds for it? Are you working towards that?
That's a big hurdle, is the financing. And then I actually just got in contact with an engineering firm a couple of days ago, so they could do the engineering.
Yes, he's trying to gain followers. That's why we're talking about, with flyers and such. He needs more people on the job to help.
I need a banker.
He needs a factor market, and then he needs to create a product market. That's what he needs to do. And the only way to do that is if he follows the steps necessary to do such a grand goal, which is beautiful.
That's a really awesome idea, and honestly, like, where are you? I don't think you haven't thought about where you want to do it at all. Like,
No, it works anywhere.
okay.
Yeah, and I keep telling him a joke, like not really a joke, but it's an important joke to understand. It's like I keep telling him, don't end up like Akon, like rapper singer to try to build his own city, but only didn't even finish one building.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. I know him.
Akon, dude. Don't be like Akon, dude. Because you know what Akon did? He was like, I'm gonna build it, and he had so much trouble. People kept pressuring him, like, why haven't you built just one building? And it was because Akon was conspiring to do fraudulent practices, ostensibly, and to acquire more wealth by investing in like Bitcoin. What he never did in Bitcoin for him was tarnished his stuff because it failed, and he couldn't achieve it because that was his only reliance, which is really unreliable reliance, if you ask me. And instead of gaining the funds unconditionally, he instead was attempting to gain the funds dependently rather than independently. And of course, he failed because the likelihood of that probability was quite high. And he failed. And he never finished the city. He never even finished one building, a building that would have been the easiest building to build. But he never finished it. Why? Because he was too busy trying to save up, because he never actually had the funds, nor even took the necessary steps to acquire a workforce, or even hire to build blueprints or anything, because he did not wish to actually understand how to do it. Instead, Akon, the artist, decided to cheat through it, which is never possible when it comes to innovation that is not known. Because building his own Wakanda city, which is what he wanted to do, was impossible because no one knew how to do it. So there wasn't really a way to cheat through it. So there you go.
Yeah, I just looked up how much it would cost to build a 20 to 30 acre mini city on ChatGPT, and basic off-grid modular city, $10 million to $30 million.
Wow, yeah, that sounds about right.
That should be easy.
With the kind of construction I was planning, I could get about 4,000 people on 20 acres. That's how high density it is.
Oh wow!
This is a great opportunity for anyone, and quite frankly, I plan to do the same thing. But of course,
check VC chat. I just posted a picture.
You see, that is a taste of what his dream could be, but perhaps it might even be better in reality, because usually dreams are never as good as reality. So there you go, a taste of what he desires, perhaps. But see, at least he has created a sort of design rather than just contemplating it solely. So there you go.
That's a pretty good photo.
You know, I know that it's your city. You don't have to build it the way I would. But according to your city, I probably would suggest maybe perhaps finding new ways of production of energy or energy storage. Maybe you should build like giant structures once around the cities with a high, a high energy source, like electricity, perhaps turbines that are more advanced, or new methods to generate that electricity. Electrical style, whatever, electrical handbook, whatever you want to do. But there you go. Like, perhaps you can use other methods that are still going to produce that, conductors, whatever. We all know how it works. But I would suggest maybe doing that just to experiment with new ways of proving to the world that you can do it, right? Almost like the beginning of the Bronze Age, where people just went at it, didn't pay attention to nobody. There we go, new civilizations. I mean, it's the beauty of starting one. Yeah. Griffith's Dream, like Berserk, the manga. Griffith's Dream, like Griffith. But I don't really like the character of Griffith. I watched the 1990s, but I didn't read the manga. I don't know if I should have read the manga, but it's such a long series. I don't know. But anyway, I don't really like the way he was portrayed in the anime, simply because of I don't know. He was kind of like a dick. If you ask me, like I would never actually like someone like that. Probably get into a lot of altercations with him if I had to. But yeah, that's I don't really like Griffith as a person. Not as a character, but as a person, I hate him. Very bad. I'd rather be friends with like Daenerys Targaryen because she's much nicer than Griffith. I feel like Griffith is just an asshole. Yeah. And he kind of was actually. I never seen him actually like think for anybody else. He kind of just about himself, even when he was pretending to be nice. It was really weird. Like you get that uneasy feeling from him. It's really strange. Context. Yeah, that was a really weirdo. Like Griffith from the Berserk series is like really weird. It's weirdo. But yeah. But that's what I was saying. It's just the ambition that we should learn to accomplish. I've been here for about a long time, possibly from 19 to so possibly 3 hours. Mostly night for me. I believe I've sent everything I needed to say to upload everything. Sadly, the people previously in the voice chat before, what's his name? Hexagram was here. All those other people didn't listen, and they didn't really create conclusive points themselves. So I think I'll take my leave because I'm happy that at least how many people? 2 people. I'm glad that 2 people actually I helped in such a way. So
Are you on mobile right now?
yes, I am. Well, I'm on technically on my iPad. Yes, I'm
Oh,
mobile.
I was gonna send you some documents.
Yeah, it's fine. An iPad's pretty sufficiently okay, I'm pretty sure. So I'll take my leave. Bye, guys.
Okay,
Bye
see
bye.
ya.
How do you? Never mind. God. I
What's
was about
up?
to say something so bad that I'm not gonna say it. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
I don't do cocaine, I'm low-cane.
Okay, I'll just say it. While he was talking, I was thinking of blowing my brains out. I know
What
it's horrible.
Oh
horrible.
yeah. He talks a lot. A man of many words.
Yeah, just don't say I said anything. I never said anything.
You can tell
Okay.
him that he smokes crack, and you can tell him that I said that.
You think he does?
No, he doesn't, but I tell him he does.
I'm just in a really bad mood. Like, it's nothing personal whatsoever. I'm just not feeling well.
How are you doing on your tapering off?
The taper is done. I've been off of it for about a week. But the fucking the thoughts are just like the cravings intense. And I'm just I don't know.
I'm tapering up.
Tapering off of what?
No, tapering up.
Oh, on what?
708.
You're taking it like a lot?
No. Not a lot, just here and there.
How much have you taken today?
30 milligrams.
Okay, that's not too much.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
You go on the subreddit, quitting 70H, and these people are talking about, like, I'm on 300 milligrams a day, 500 milligrams a day, like 1,000. This one dude was on 2 grams per day.
Well, if I do it, which isn't every day, I just take one dose out of it, one of the shots, and it's like 4 doses in those little shots. So.
Reporting to the front.
Yeah.
I'm using it like not like an addiction style, so it's. Oh, great. We think I'm in denial. The government's after me. Oh God, I'm going to hell.
I feel like what I said made people leave. And because of that, I might stay away from this group for a little while. Not right now.
This group?
Yeah, because I feel like my words are about to be repeated back to the person that I was referring to. And
no, he won't care, dude. I mean, even if he does, it won't be a problem.
Yeah, I'm still gonna probably stay away for a little bit. But whatever, I'll talk for now. I drank a Four Loko. Myself right now. Yeah, I'm not myself right now at all. Like, I'm just being a complete cunt right now.
You're good, man. You're good.
Okay.
You don't gotta stress out, but I know that's your style. So go ahead.
How do you know me so well? Oh my God.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Yeah, it is my style to be stressed out. I bring it back, back to, whatever era people were stressed in.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have an internal monologue anymore, because it used to be as stressed out as you were.
It's not really an inner monologue. I actually don't have an inner voice because I take antipsychotics, and ever since I started them 2 years ago, I have not had an inner voice, a conscience, an inner dialogue, nothing. No words in my head, just feelings.
You like Haldol?
I like what?
Haldol.
No, I'm on Zyprexa.
No, man. You gotta get some Haldol, dude. Be glued to the floor.
I'm allergic to Haldol. I've taken it like 3 times, and every time I have a horrible, reaction. Like, my body gets stuck in different positions, and I can't move. Like, paralysis.
Oh, that does sound a little excessive.
Yeah. Haldol and Risperdal causes paralysis for me. Like, it's horrible.
They ever put you on Thorazine?
What's it called?
Thorazine, man.
I've never heard of that.
It's the one that's it's like a neurological equivalent to a lobotomy, but temporarily.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
I mean, it's something else, dude. I was on it for like a year after a brain injury, and it's it's something else. Literally, like, shuts down your frontal lobe back to be just like a lobotomy.
Right.
Like, the dude who made lobotomies when it first came out, because they were calling it a chemical lobotomy, he's like, no, that's fucked up. it's just a temporary solution that does what mine does permanently. So I would. It's the worst argument. Yeah, drill the brain away instead of just turning it off.
Yeah, damn.
Look at him go.
Who's your favorite amateur lobotomist?
The Nazis.
I guess there's not
Enemy tactical asset within range.
big pool to choose from.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Yeah.
Mine's a split between Jeffrey Dahmer and those old Hebrews that they like would have a brand they did to their slaves that went into the forehead, like it's a partial lobotomy as well as a sign of ownership.
Deploying now.
Freedom never sleeps!
I'm just joking, of course.
Reinforcement budget depleted.
What you been up to lately, man?
I just changed my username and my profile picture to go off grid for a while. In case it ever goes back to that person that I talked endless shit about them.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
Our citizens depend on you for their safety.
I have a question. How long does it take, like, doing the 70H to have withdrawals? Because I bought a vape pen and I did that for a few days. Like, next 2 days after that were rough.
Yeah, the withdrawals kick in within, like, for me, within 24 hours.
No, I mean, like, how much successive use, or, like, consecutive use does it take to get the withdrawals? Because, like, when I did that...
I would say within less than a week.
Yeah. Have you tried the Zaza pills with the other brands, like Antipine or whatever? It's like an antidepressant opioid.
No, I haven't tried that.
That shit will give you fucking withdrawals just doing it 2 days in a row. A rough withdrawal. It's I'd say the 708 is better. It's like closer to like a dirty high, like heroin. Like, or 708 like feels more like morphine to me.
Right.
Objective critical stratagem no longer available. Additional reinforcement funding approved.
Thinking about getting off my antidepressant. See if I still have like social anxiety without it.
Hellbomb request approved. Deploying now.
I used to be on it for social anxiety, so I don't know, man. It's mostly because I want to start doing shrooms again.
I'll be back in a little bit. Peace.
Anyone else still here? Chris? Blight? I want you to name 3 types of mango or I'm leaving. You just lost your peanut.
joining the fray.
Their bodies will burn with the city itself.
Another perfect day to defend freedom. Low.
Let us secure the sustenance of Super Earth.
guide us to brightest light. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all had fun. Chris Martin 424 BeetleBird signing off. Good lucky.